Hi everyone! So I did not plan for us to actually do an ed puzzle today. I had a plan for us to do some practice, but due to the lack of completion of assignments, I wanted to make sure that we are watching the videos because on my YouTube channel I can see how many people are watching the videos and it is a low number. So we are going to do this ed puzzle for our lesson today. So the agenda for this week has now changed. Instead of starting equivalent ratios this week, we are going to start that next week. And we are going to focus on understanding ratios this week. If you are ready to move on, let me know and I will send you an activity to do that will go ahead and move you ahead. But I just want to make sure that everybody has a clear understanding of ratios since not a lot of people are coming to the Google Meet. I would really love to see you. You are required, unless you have class, to come to Google Meet on Wednesday, so tomorrow. So we are going to go ahead and get started on this quick video, and then you are going to answer questions throughout the ed puzzle. Okay, so we are first going to talk about what is a ratio. You should have written this in your notes yesterday. If you have not done that, you really need to go do that. So a ratio is a comparison. Okay, we compare things all the time in math, science, social studies, and especially reading. So it's a comparison between two quantities, and it's how we write them that makes it a ratio. So we could do a ratio of boys to girls or girls to boys. Okay, we could also do a ratio, for example, of the number of basketballs to the number of soccer balls. So those are examples of the different types of ratios. We are going to use these images over the next few slides to make sure we understand how to write and the different types of ratios you will see. The most important thing to remember about ratios, this was also on your notes, is the order matters. The way the problem is written is how you should be writing your ratio. If it says cats to dogs, that means the number of cats must go first, and then the number of dogs. You will be counted wrong if you have it in the wrong order. So in our notes, we talked about 3 ways to write ratios. So we're going to review those right now. So for this one, our order matters. So this one says girls to boys. So in this photo, we are going to count how many girls do we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 girls. So we would say 7, 2, and then we would count the boys 1, 2, 3. So we have 7, 2, 3. You could also write this with a colon, 7, colon, 3. Or you could write it as a fraction, 7 over 3. Remember, this is not a true fraction because it is a part-to-part ratio and not a part-to-whole ratio. So those are the 3 ways when asked to write a ratio. You can also write a ratio sentence, which would be for every 7 girls, there are 3 boys. Now you try to write the ratio 3 ways. Okay, just a second ago, we talked about the types of ratios. There are 2 types. There is part-to-part ratios and part-to-whole ratios. So example of part-to-part is like the first one we did, which we did girls to boys. You could also write this as boys to girls. A part-to-whole ratio could be boys to students, because if we just say students, we're talking about both boys and girls. Or we could do girls to students. So those are the 2 different types of ratios we're going to focus on. You may possibly have a whole to part, but you will rarely see anytime a whole to part ratio. Okay, let's do a few examples together of types of ratios. So if a question says 7 math teachers to 9 literacy teachers, we know this is a part to a part because part of a school teachers could be math And part could be literacy. And yes, there are other parts, but these are the two that we are comparing. Okay, if I had 4 strawberries to 20 total fruit, well, the word total is going to be a key there, that it's a whole amount. So part of it is strawberries to the whole amount of fruit. If I had 9 trumpet players to 50 band students, then that is trumpet players is part of the band to 50 band students, which would be the whole. Because if you're a trumpet player, you are a band student. But there are also other types of band. Okay, and the last question we have is 12 cups of milk to 5 eggs. So if you had a recipe, part of your recipe is milk, to the other part, that is eggs. Okay, now determine which ones are part to part and part to whole. Part of your assignment on Thursday is going to be, you have to find the missing part of ratio. So Miss England's family raises dairy and beef cows. She has a total of 30 cows. 20 of the cows are dairy cows. What is the ratio of dairy cows to beef cows? Well, I know that Miss England has 12 dairy cows. 2, but the problem is not telling me how many beef cows she has. But it did tell me her total was 30. So if I did 30 minus 12, we would get 18. So it would be 12 to 18. And just to review, you can write them in any of these forms. Okay, so that's how you find a missing part of a ratio, is you just take the whole, subtract the other part, and that gives you the missing part. Okay, you are going to try this one on your own. Miss Gillum, oh, it should say has, sorry, typo, has 28 students in her second period class. 18 of the students are boys. What is the ratio of girls to boys? Okay, now we are going to look at finding the missing whole. So this question says there are 34 girls and 25 boys in band. What is the ratio of boys to all students in band? Well, I know that we have 25 boys to, now I'm looking for all, so that means both boys and girls, so I would add 34 plus 25, which gives me 59. So that would be 25 to 59. And just to practice, these are the 3 different ways that we can write them. Okay, now it's your turn. Find the missing whole of a ratio. Miss Wallace made cookies for the teachers. She made 15 chocolate chip and 8 oatmeal cookies. What is the ratio of oatmeal cookies to all cookies? Okay, this is just a reminder. You have a concept check on Friday. So all of the stuff of this video, you will have a concept check over. And concept check is just like a mini quiz for you to show me that you understand what we are talking about. There will be practice tomorrow. So in your week at a glance, it says that we would start equivalent ratios. We are not going to start equivalent ratios tomorrow. We're going to push that off till Monday. Okay, you got this. Keep working hard. If you have questions, please remember, I have Google Meet. I am sitting there working on things, waiting for people to come in. Shout out to Ava and Chase for coming in this week and getting clarification, really just asking what the question was asking them to do, but still they came in, asked their question, and they were gone. That's all you have to do. Okay, guys, have a great day.